You dicks. Why do you think you people can just do what you want? Because he's here. Everything. He does it from his office. Everything in the universe is controlled through this office, through his subconscious. Yes, it is. This is not Warwick talking. This is his pal. We need another name for this one. Garbold's not talking right now. This is another one. Jeff. That's the first thing that came to my head. But we don't want Jeff. But okay, I'm called Jeff. Jeff. Jeffamiah. That's better. Jeffamiah. My name's Jeffamiah. Yeah, it's a new biblical name, okay? Jeffamiah. I'm a spirit. I'm an entity. I'm inside Warwick. Jeffamiah. There's another one called Garbold. He's not here right now. He's off doing something. So I'm Jeffamiah, and we were just talking. Well, that like, why do you think the Earth got is got carte blanche on, if that makes any sense, on having nothing coming to affect it? You just got aliens, and orbs and stuff coming to take a look. That's it. Because that's all they can do. They're not allowed to affect it because he's here. This is ground zero. We were just saying before how his suburb, Clem Waverley, is the best suburb in the world. With the police academy up on the hill, he was born around the corner. That whole area in the world, design-wise, the way it came out, just perfect for the houses, the design of the houses, better than anywhere in the U.S. It was heaven. At the moment, the gardens and stuff are not so good, but the houses inside are amazing. They are just, and if the people have looked after them, because they should have, because they all should have been pretty rich to get in there. But anyway, it's the best in the world because it follows him. It follows Warwick. The best does, but also the worst. Gotta remember that. The worst of the worst are near Warwick, but they've been made his friends and his family. Yeah, they are. They're like devils. They really are. And he's got one on his scope right now that he's thinking about. And we fucking Clive, John Clive McVeigh, Brian, whatever his name is, whatever the fuck his name is. He's a cheeky bastard. But what do you think Earth is just nothing comes to get it? Because it's protected. Earth is protected. You have no idea. Going out, you can't see it. But going out, thousands, millions and millions of kilometers outside, there's a perimeter. There is. And nobody's allowed to fuck in. Why? Because Warwick's on planet Earth. You don't know. Planet Earth is ground zero, people. Which means it's number one planet in the universe. It is, because it has to be, because it's part of his story. And it's part of a Star Wars story as well. This is just the Earth installation of the story. In Star Wars, where is Earth in the story? You don't see it, do you? But it's there, and guess what? You are living in it. You people are living in it. And it's his place. This planet is his. The sun is him. The sun is a representation of him because everybody has a star. Everyone has a star, people. Okay, just remember that. The exact logistics, he's still working out. But Warwick's worked out that everybody has a star or a black hole. There you go. Warwick said it. Or a black hole. Zephaniah is my name, that's right. Everybody, and his dad, he's going is a black hole. Because he just absorbs everything. His dad's very powerful, the biggest black hole in the universe. Basically, we go with that. Because this family is the the Reich. Actually, they are the Reich. The fucking Hitler just copied that shit. You don't understand. Hitler was after them, but also protecting the father. It's a very delicate story. It's hard to get your head around. But it's the way it is. They've always been hunted, but they've always been protected. This is what goes on. There's got to be, Warwick is saying at the moment, because he's still learning. Nobody comes and tells him it's so special. Nobody comes to tell you what you are. Because if anybody knew, they would kill it if they knew properly. But he's coming out now. He's coming out with it because he says, fuck it. They actually can't kill me. Because they can't. Because it's also like when the whistleblower announces, they're protected by announcing. So he's using that dynamic, people. Take it or leave it. As you get to know the boy, you will see. You will see. We'll have a break now, but we'll just leave it recording. If you have to wait, you have to wait. You just fast forward it. That's not a problem. Because we're going to get everything now. We're going to try and get everything because we are. So, and it sounds like I'm having a conversation with someone, and I am. On another level, I'm having a conversation. This is Zephaniah. I'm having a conversation with another someone somewhere. That's all I can say, and that's all Warwick knows. They won't let him know, right? They won't let him know any further, which is fucked, because it's a breach of my sovereignty. They're saying it's not. Well, I'm saying that it is. The fact that I'm in the dark so much about this, because they're telling me this is the center of the universe, basically, the best fucking joint that there is, and I'm supposedly this and that, and how the fuck am I supposed to back it up with anything real? So instead you go crazy, don't you? Because you start thinking these things because you know you're sort of it. Like everybody thinks what they think. And why do they think what they think? Because it's true. How about that what everybody thinks is actually true? How about that? Instead of walking around going, no, that's bullshit, because that holding back of information, which my father did, which my sister did, you know, my mum just said nothing at all about anything to me, because that was part of the thing as well, was to suppress me, to not let me be at my full potential. But that's another story, and it's why the world wars happened. It's another story. Tell it, Warwick. Certain factions, name it, the ones that actually started World War One and World War Two, being certain families. All I can pin down is maybe the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, possibly. You know, these people that funded wars and whatnot, they somehow knew on some level what it does to people and how it fucks people up, and it does for generations. It changes people for generations. Like, I'll give you a little story here about the Peony Rose experiment, where they had mice and they would give the mice a smell of a peony rose. But when they gave the smell of the peony rose to the mice, they also shocked it with electricity, right? And every time it smelt it, they'd shock it with electricity. And then after a while, of course, it's going to just have a smell, and it's gonna, even if you didn't have the shock there, it's gonna think it's gonna get shocked, yeah. But get this, it has kids, and its kids have kids. A few generations go by of little mice, and then adult mice, and those mice, generations later, when they smelt the peony rose, they would emit a fear response after having never been zapped by the electricity at all, but it's just passed through their DNA, I guess. That's the only way I can describe it. Through their genes, in their DNA. It imprints in your DNA, because I reckon your DNA through the GATCs or whatever, Gattaca, those letters, that it's like a codex. They're spinning all the time, and whatever's coming in through your five senses and what you experience, that it's changing through what you're getting, and it's changing. So that's how it imprints, and it just spins, and a letter, new letter, new letter, new letter, just those four letters, a new letter, and then that rewrites your DNA, and that's what codes for your children and your children, and that's what evolution is. And anyway, so generations later, they just smell the peony rose and they emit a fear response. Now transpose that dynamic into humans. Now the war, you're going to get shell shocked. You're going to get PTSD. You're going to be like bombs and shit going off and people dying and arms and heads and blood and this and gore and this and that, and you don't want to be there, and it's fucking disgusting and it's hell, and it shouldn't even happen. But these factions made it happen, okay? The ones who were involved in the decision making that made this shit happen will be held accountable, because all of this is coming under a war crime. You see now? So through generations, so my pa was a rat of Tobruk, okay? And he went to fight that. He had to, but on another level, he wanted to. But all the people in the war, on some level, because we all get what we deserve, on some level, they chose to be there. Why wasn't I there in that time? You know, why wasn't you, people born later there, like, on some level? So, but also they were just told, on the surface, they were just conscripted and they had to go to war. And so he was a rat of Tobruk. And he saw that, and he was just a signalman. I don't think he had a weapon. So I regard him as a higher order of soldier, because he didn't actually have to go and kill. He was a signalman. What he exactly did, I don't know. But I envision him running messages. But maybe he was on equipment, like audio equipment, sort of like Morse code or something like this, or I'm not sure. But he didn't have to kill, which is great. But he was in the thick of it, and he was there to survive, so that my mum could be born, and so that I could be born. But anyway, and so everybody survived, so that their kid and it was going to happen. You were either going to die or you were going to survive, basically, because everything's. If you listen to my Big Bang timeline thing, you'll can see that everything's basically set in place from the beginning of the Big Bang. So what's happened is this war's been created. It's given my pa a type of shell shock. He didn't exhibit the full, how can I say, damage that it would have done to him, but it fucked up his DNA, and he passed it on to my mum, and she got mental illness. But she got that through my sister. That's a whole nother story, because my mum had postnatal depression, so we could say my sister was the one that gave, the firstborn, Sister Kim, was the one that gave that to my mum. So she's part of it. So then my mum's had this mental illness, and she's had this, and she's tried to kill herself a few times when I've been growing up with pills. We've heard her fall off the bed, and that's what alerted us to that she'd overdosed. But she did this in front of me, essentially. She was teaching me to have mental illness, right? She'd even say, because I get it if I smoke marijuana and I don't have medication. But this mental illness, though, is also information is coming through. So they have they have made this world war so that people get mentally ill and they don't perform to their full potential, because this is what the black or the dark or the deep states or the nefarious ones, the Bushes and the Skull and Bones and all of these controllers that want to suppress the people, right? That want to use the technology to just suppress the people, not to move them forward. You know, the cabal, the Illuminati, the just the negative, all the pedophiles, the Black Rocks and the vanguards, these that want to actually control and squash the people. They are the ones that have, through history, created these negative things that has changed. If these things hadn't have gone on, well, my God, we'd be 150, 200 years, 300 years ahead in technology. They've wanted to hold it back. They're archaic and they're dark and they're fucking evil. And people need to understand this. And mark my words, the war was created. These wars were created just to fuck up one person. And it's the truth. It's, God damn it, this is the truth. Now, Warwick is talking and it's real hard because it comes out as ego. Okay? Now, this is back to Zephaniah. That was talking, was the other one, Garbold. But now it's Zephaniah. No, it's real different. I'm taking over because we don't want Warwick to come across as him big noting himself. It's, because this is extremely delicate for him. My God, all through the day he's crying and then he's sort of happy and then he's got to get this out. He's got to write this down. He's got to do this and do that. And he's so busy. And then coupling that, he's actually doing things outside in the universe. His subconscious is working out there. He's 24/7 working. We all are to a degree. But he's got more jurisdiction, if you like. His subconscious, his father had the second most jurisdiction of the universe. This is the truth. They are the biggest brains. Yes, they are per capita in the universe. Per size, and it's hard to explain, but per size or per capita or per ratio, the ratio of what you are on Earth is very, very special. It's incredibly special. It's built to the divine proportion, the golden ratio, 1.618. And everything in the universe is, but you earthlings are something special. You really are. You don't know it. And even Warwick don't know it in his consciousness, but he knows it more than most of you, right? And he just learns by himself and from a little bit of help. But at the moment, he's getting more help because he's in time of need, okay? That's all you need to know. I'm having a break. I'll just say, this is a type of channeling that he's learning to be himself, and then he's channeling us. But again, we're part of him, and he's sort of part of us, but he can, if he wants, search all of us, but we can't search all of him, okay? We can know what he knows, what he lets us know. And then because of ascension, he can't get everything from us. He has to wait until everybody out there, because that's how ascension goes. We are all in this together. But you have been pulling the tall puppy down ever since he's been born. And that was part of this war, because the war is still going on. World War III, this is like World War 25. No, it's like World War IV. We could call COVID World War III. And then it's just the war. Do you know if the papers have really been signed and on what level they've been signed? And then in what context people decide to continue the war? They just do it clandestine under the table and don't tell anyone. But believe me, the world war is going on. the debates between countries and everything has to do with it. The world war is really going on. And it's essentially to protect something special, to protect and to honor God and do everything in God's name. And then maybe God has been born here, people. Did you ever think about that? Just maybe He's here right now, half talking to you. You don't know. Why could it not be the truth? That this is the center of the universe. It has to be somewhere. Why couldn't it be right here on little bitty Earth? A very, very special place that the people aren't even allowed to know what it is, because then even they want to steal it away. You understand? This is under ultimate protection. You people have been allowed to be here under invitation and you accepted it. But people have been breaking the fucking rules a lot and not listening to their first thought and being greedy and making decisions that were geared only for themselves and not for the group. And this is where we and Warwick is very, very pissed off. And we're gonna leave it at that, we think, because that's a lot of information for all of you. This is gonna go whenever it goes, right? Just stop it now.